Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Strike the Blood Episode 4. Now, this one starts off with Asagi. She's at the Island Management Corporation place, and she's talking with her AI, Mogwai. And while she's there, Eustache and Astarte actually attack. And she doesn't know who it is at first, obviously, but her first guess is the Dominion Army. So that's another group that's been introduced to the series, so more potential for the story to expand. But it turns out it's actually Eustache and Astarte. What they're looking for, the treasure they're looking for, is hidden somewhere there. So they went to go get it. After this, we go to Kojo, who's healed. He's revived. According to Himeragi, it was like time reversed itself, and all the blood started to suck back into his body, and he just returned to normal. So that's an interesting detail. According to him, he didn't know that progenitors could actually do something like that. So he knew he was immortal, but I guess he didn't know he could regenerate like that. And Himeragi hears this, and she doesn't really know what to say. She's never had someone be willing to go to that far for her, and she asks him why. She tells a little bit about her past, says that her parents sold her, that she's just a tool for the Lion King organization, so it doesn't make any sense. Like, she doesn't have anyone who would be sad if she died, so she doesn't understand why he would risk his life for her when he has his sister, he has Yaze, he has Asagi, Natsuki, he has people who would care if he died. So she doesn't understand why he would sacrifice himself for her, even though he's immortal, but whatever. And at this point, it's like a fake cliche scene. Kojo pretends to trip and fall over her, on top of her, when in reality it's what he was planning on doing from the very beginning. And pretty much the gist of what he's saying is that she shouldn't call herself a tool. People do care about her. He cares about her. The people from the High God Forest who raised her cared about her, even though they weren't her real parents. Pretty much his lesson to her is to care more about herself, to think more highly of herself. But he ends up calling Asagi to find out what's going on, because they feel like the earthquakes and everything, and Kojo knows something's off because the island's a man-made island, and they've never had earthquakes before. So he knows something's up. He hears about the Keystone Gate being attacked, so I guess that's another name for the management corporation's headquarters, or that's where they're located or something like that. He calls Asagi to find out if she's safe, to find out what's going on. Turns out she is. She ends up looking up information to find out why exactly Eustache and Astarte are attacking there, and it turns out that the treasure they're looking for is a hand. So they talk about that later on in the episode, but Asagi tells Kojo everything, but we don't learn everything. So once Kojo does hear everything, his resolve gets shaken. He thinks that Eustache might be right in what he's doing. But Himeragi tries to snap him out of it. Then she cuts her neck and tells him to drink her blood. That way he could gain control of his familiars. And eventually he does. At first he was just like doing this small little lick. Then he just bit in there. So that was good. If he had just settled for a licking, I would have been annoyed. He would have been just like another Ichigo, just not willing to do anything. It's good that he just dug in there. But it was funny. Himeragi's reaction to it, though. Like, you would think that if someone's biting into your skin, you would be in pain. She was enjoying it, though. But after that, we go back to Eustache and Rudolph. They find, wow, both of those people are the same people. We go back to Eustache and Astarte, and they find the hand, and he's crying. He's like, "Oh yes, I found you." All right, and pretty much what happens is that Kojo, he shows up, Himuragi's there, they start going back and forth trying to talk him out of it. It doesn't work, so then they start to fight. We do get an explanation though. Apparently that hand belonged to a saint from the Lothringia Church, or West European Church, or something like that. And Eustache ends up explaining like how the city, not how the city works, but how it was built. This Itogami guy built the city on top of the intersection of a bunch of ley lines, aka the dragon veins, and the 4 parts of the island, he built them, and he based them off of like the 4 divine beasts, the 4 divine beasts, in order to try and like gain control over the dragon veins. I don't know how that works, but apparently that's what he did. The 4 divine beasts are a white tiger, a yellow dragon, a phoenix, and like some turtle snake thing. Apparently, though, he didn't have the parts necessary, I guess, to like fulfill the role of the dragon, so he ended up needing a sacrifice, and he chose the arm of the saint, the body of the saint, as they say. And again, they're trying to talk Eustache out of it, but it doesn't work, so they start to fight. Astarte and Himuragi are fighting. Then Eustache and Kojo are fighting. Turns out that Eustache had this like armor, this like holy armor or something like that. Alcazaba or something. It's some weird name. Alcazaba, I think. And then Kojo, he ends up summoning his 5th familiar, so we know he has at least 5 of them. It's that lightning dragon. Apparently its name is Regulus Arm. But as he's summoning it, we see this girl. She's like outside, far away. She's looking, and sees the huge lightning strike hit the building, and she apparently knows he's the 4th progenitor, and she's happy that he's awakened to his abilities. But we go back to Kojo. He has Regulus Arm activated. We see the lion. He goes to attack Eustache, but Astarte comes in, blocks it, and like nullifies the attack with her shield. So Himuragi comes in with one of her sword shaman techniques and destroys the barrier. So then Kojo uses Regulus Arm again and takes Astarte out. At this point, Eustache he's thinking like, this isn't good. Himuragi comes in with this like pulsation technique and shoots him all the way to Kojo, who then punches him in the face. And that's that. After he does that, he kind of just randomly hugs Himuragi, and she's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" He's like, "Okay, I'm good." He goes and then he bites Astarte on the neck and sucks her blood. And she's like, what are you doing? And he explains that he was bringing her familiar under his control. That way he could extend her life. So I was right about that. Astarte was saved. So she'll probably become a good guy at some point. She doesn't have a familiar now, so she won't really be able to do anything. But who knows? Maybe she'll find a way, like learn some magic or something. Who knows? But Himuragi goes up to him. He's like, "What are you doing?" So Kojo explains it, and she's like, "Well, I don't know what like fan sub said or anything like that. But I watched this on Crunchyroll, and what they had her say, it was hilarious. they had her say, "What, am I just fluffer to you?" all the comments all the comments in the comments section for Crunchyroll, they all had to do with that. So that was pretty funny. But we end up after the ending play, or maybe it was before the ending plays. We end up going to Yaze. And like I predicted last episode, he is important. He does know things. Um, he's talking with this bird who may or may not be that girl from earlier. I didn't really compare their voices, but going off of memory alone, they sounded different a little bit. But Yaze's talking to her, and he knows about Kojo being the fourth progenitor. And they're talking about Himeragi, and they say that she was sent here to become Kojo's lover. So I don't know, maybe he might be. The three of them are probably all together, two or three, depending on if the girl and the bird are the same person. But they're all of them are probably in the same organization, and it can either be again an entirely new group, or they could be part of the Lion King organization and like be pretty high up there because they knew about Himeragi and why she was sent there. But I'm sure we'll learn later. But also I was watching the opening over again, and it turns out Yaze actually is in the opening. I didn't notice it at first because I saw him there, but I didn't recognize it as Yaze because I didn't see his headphones at first. But it is him. He's the guy who's like jumps in the air, like air. You can see the sky behind him, and he's just like punching the sky, punching down towards where the camera is. But yeah, the point is that Yaze is important. He's gonna be important. But since Himeragi was sent there to be Kojo's lover, she wasn't brought back to the Lion King organization. Like, she still has her original mission. She violated a bunch of rules, so she thought she would be forced back, but she wasn't. They even gave her a new, well, not a new one, but they fixed her old lance thing because she broke it when she destroyed Astarte's barrier. So they gave her a new one of those. And that's it for the main part of the episode. After the ending, there's a little there are these funny scenes where Kojo's worried about Himeragi, and she comes back. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I lost a little bit of blood, but I'm okay." And he's like, "Oh, good. I was worried I turned you into my blood servant or something." And she's like, "No, the results are negative. I'm fine." But but Asagi and Nagisa show up, and they heard the worst parts of the conversation. Like, wait, you hurt her so bad she was bleeding. She had to be checked out, and because it was on a certain day, the results were negative. What did you do to this girl? So he's like, wait, no, you've got the wrong idea completely. And Asagi starts yelling to the rest of the lunchroom, "Hey, there's this incubus trying to seduce this middle school girl." So then Yaze is just sitting there on the other side, just talking about Kojo and how his journey as the fourth progenitor is just beginning, stuff like that. But overall, that was a pretty funny scene, so that was a nice way to end the episode. But yeah, that's it. I thought the episode was pretty good, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was cool seeing Kojo use the fifth familiar. It was cool seeing Himeragi be useful and not just have to be saved by Gojo. She destroyed a Starbase barrier, plus she used that technique, that pulsation technique. So that was interesting. We learned about Yaze and we know that he's important now. So yeah, I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. The preview shows that the next arc is going to be Messenger of the War King. And that blonde guy who we see in the opening, he shows up. Plus it looks like Natsuki's going to fight some like Therianthrope guy. So that should be interesting. I don't remember the titles for all of the progenitors, but War King might have been one. I don't really remember, but either way, the War King sounds like a powerful title. So, and if the guy they meet in this arc is a messenger for the War King, he obviously has to have a message of some sort. So that'll probably lead into the next arc after this. Whether the anime covers that or not, who knows? But I'm looking forward to what happens next. So that's it for this review. Rate, comment, subscribe. and I'll see you guys next time.